In the sky, the earth has its neighbors. They are the sun, the moon, and the stars. We see them in the sky. The sun. The sun is the nearest star to the earth. It is a giant ball of hot gases. It is very far away from the earth. Therefore, it looks small. There would be no life possible on earth without the sun. The planets in the solar system orbit around the sun. The sun is the main source of heat and light. The temperature near the sun is about 6,000 degrees Celsius. In the center of the sun, its temperature is about 160 lakh degrees Celsius. The moon. The moon is a heavenly body that moves around the earth. We see the moon at night. It is round in shape and smaller than the sun and the earth. The moon is made of rocks. It has no light of its own. It shines as it reflects the sunlight that falls on it. The moon is the only natural satellite of the earth. The moon also rotates on its axis. It takes about a month, 29.5 days, for one complete rotation. Phases of the moon. The moon moves around the earth, while the earth moves around the sun. As the moon travels around the earth, its different parts get lighted up by the sun on different days. So, we see only the lighted part of it. That is why it seems to us that the moon changes its shape. When the moon is between the earth and the sun, we cannot see the moon. This is because the side of the moon facing the earth does not receive sunlight. This is called new moon, Amavasya. After 2 or 3 days, a small portion of the moon gets lighted. Hence, we can see the moon, which is called crescent moon. After a week, we can see half of the moon. This is called half moon. After 10 or 11 days, we can see more than half of the moon. This is called gibbous moon. After 2 weeks, the earth comes between the sun and the moon. Then we can see full moon, Purnima. Sunlit portion of the moon continually decreases. This is called the waning or the reducing phase of the moon. We see the waning gibbous phase in the quarter and the waning crescent phase in the 4th quarter. At the end of the 4th quarter, the moon is completely invisible and reaches the new moon phase again. The surface of the moon is not smooth. There are huge holes called craters on its surface. Landing on the moon. In 1969, first Neil Armstrong and then Edwin Aldrin landed on the moon. Their Apollo 11 spacecraft landed on a dark plain called the Sea of Tranquility. Michael Collins also went with him. Life on the moon. The moon is covered with craters of different sizes. There are dark patches also. There is no air and water on the surface of the moon. We know that living things need air and water to live. So, there is no life on the moon. Stars, huge balls of fire. The sun is a star. Some of the stars are bigger than our sun. As they are very far away from us, they look so small to us. They also have their own light. Towards the north, there is a bright star called the pole star. Constellations. Some stars can be seen in groups. A group of stars arranged in a pattern is called a constellation. Some groups of stars form imaginary pictures of animals and men. For example, the Great Bear constellation is in the shape of a bear. The shape of the Orion constellation is of a hunter. Some other constellations are Leo, Aquarius, Aries, etc. Studying the sky. Scientists who study heavenly bodies, like the stars, planets, moon, etc., are called astronomers. The stars and the planets can be seen in much larger size and more clearly through an instrument called the telescope. Galileo Galilei, an Italian scientist, made the first telescope. He made several important discoveries about the sun, the moon, and the other planets. Many other Indian astronomers have also made great discoveries in the past, as well as in the present. About 1500 years ago, Indian astronomer Aryabhatta was the first person to state that the earth is round and rotates on its axis. He also explained that eclipses happen because of shadows cast by the earth or the moon on one another.